Hello friends, I am Dr. Harsha Suryavanshi, Associate Professor from Sri Shivaji Law College, Parbhani, Maharashtra. In previous lectures, we discussed about the definition of promoters and the legal status of promoters. In the present lecture, we shall discuss about the duties and liabilities of promoters. Since the promoters stand in a fiduciary relationship, they have duties accordingly. The promoters must retain confidence and trust of the company in them. In order to retain the confidence and trust, the promoters have duty to disclose profits if they have made. This can be understood with the case Lagunas Nitrate versus Lagunas Nitrate Syndicate. The Lagunas Nitrate Syndicate promoted a company, that is Lagunas Nitrate, to purchase part of its nitrate deposit. The first directors of the Lagunas Nitrate Company were all members of the Lagunas Nitrate Syndicate. A prospectus was issued by the syndicate stating that all the directors of the company were directors of the syndicate also. Subsequently, the syndicate sold the nitrate deposit to Lagunas Nitrate Company, and they sold it at much higher price than the price that was originally paid by the syndicate. Thus, by selling the nitrate deposits to Lagunas Nitrate, the Lagunas Nitrate Syndicate earned profit. 2 years after purchase of the nitrate deposits, the shareholders sued the syndicate and its directors and demanded rescission of contract or damages in lieu of it for breach of trust. It was held by the court that the directors or the promoters at that time shall not be responsible as they made adequate disclosure of profit through prospectus. The next duty of promoters is to disclose their interest, if any, in formation of the company. The promoters shall disclose their interest in actual or express words. That means they shall not disclose impliedly or in a tacit way. It is not sufficient to disclose it, but the disclosure must be to an independent board of directors. The case of Erlanger versus New Sombrero Phosphate Company can throw light on this duty. Erlanger, he managed a syndicate, and that syndicate purchased an island containing mines of phosphate for 50,000 pounds. Later on, Erlanger promoted a company to purchase this island. The company had 5 directors. Out of these 5 directors, all were nominated by Erlanger. Out of these 5 directors, 2 directors were residing abroad permanently, and out of the remaining 3 directors, 2 were completely under the control of Erlanger. The 2 directors decided to purchase the island of the syndicate at 1,10,000 pounds. That is almost amount double to the original one. However, the details of the sale were not disclosed to an independent board of directors or the shareholders. Subsequently, the original directors were removed and the new directors were appointed. These new directors, they decided to rescind the contract on the ground that there was no independent disclosure. It was held by the court that merely disclosure is not sufficient. The disclosure must be to an independent board of directors who can act on their own, or board of directors with integrity. Now let us see what are the liabilities of promoters. The promoters have liability to disclose secret profits. If the promoters make secret profits, then they must disclose it, and if they do not disclose, then non-disclosure may result into surrender of the profits to the company. That is, the promoters can be compelled to surrender the profits to the company. Non-disclosure may result into the company using the right to rescind the contract. That is, the company may rescind the contract entered into by the promoters. And in such case, if any liability for damages or compensation arises, then in such case, the liability shall be of the promoters personally, and the company shall not be liable for such damages or compensation. However, a company loses its right to rescind the contract if the property in dispute is altered. That means, if the property cannot be relegated to its or restored to its original possession, the company loses its right to rescind the contract. Similarly, if third party incurs interest in the property, then in such case also the company loses its right to rescind the contract. If the company makes unreasonable delay in exercising its right to rescind the contract, then also company loses its right to rescind the contract. The second liability of the promoters arise in the case of breach of fiduciary duties. As we have seen that the promoters shall have fiduciary relationship, that means they should earn or they should gain trust and confidence. If the promoter is guilty of breach of his fiduciary duties, he is not relieved from the liability by inserting a provision in the Articles of Association. Even the death of promoter also does not relieve him from his responsibility. In such case, damages can be assessed against the promoters at the time of winding up of the company also. The liability in case of breach of fiduciary relationship occurs in two circumstances. If the promoters have misapplied or retained the money or property of the company, they shall be liable to make the losses good. Similarly, if the promoters are guilty of misfeasance or breach of trust in relation to the company, they shall be liable for damages. The promoters shall also be liable to public examination at the time of winding up. If during winding up of the company, the official liquidator finds that the promoters have committed any fraud in the formation of the company, such promoters shall be liable for public examination by the court. The promoters shall also be liable for pre-incorporation contracts. If the promoters have entered into any contract for the formation of the company and the company has not ratified the contracts, in such situation the company or the promoter shall be liable for damages or compensation in case of breach of pre-incorporation contracts. The promoters shall be liable for misstatements in the prospectus. The promoters have a duty regarding prospectus or statement in lieu of prospectus. The promoters must see that the prospectus contains necessary information or particulars. Similarly, he must see that the prospectus does not contain any untrue or misleading statements. If the prospectus does not contain necessary information or particulars, then promoter shall be liable for liability arising out of that incident. Similarly, the promoter shall also be liable for untrue and misleading statements in the prospectus. Consequently, allotment of shares may be set aside based on issue of prospectus, and the promoters may be sued for damages or compensation for misrepresentation. One must keep in mind that all these liabilities can be enforced only by the company and no other person. Thank you very much, friends.